Hi guys, it is a beautiful day on the homestead, as you can most certainly see, and today we are going to be planting some fruit trees. I really think if you're serious about going off-grid and becoming more self-sustainable, or even if you're on-grid and you have a small homestead, fruit trees are a great addition to your arsenal of foods. You know, this is the thing, when you go to the grocery store, I've said this before, yes, the food prices keep going up and up and up. But when you think about fruit especially, there's so many issues with GMO, pesticides. Do you even know where the fruit is coming from? I think a lot of the fruit nowadays comes from Mexico, and you're paying good money for that fruit. In 5 years' time, you plant a fruit tree, you're going to start eating fresh fruit. Now, how wonderful and freeing is that? So on our homestead, we really seriously looked at growing a lot of fruit trees, and when we started laying out our garden and our landscaping, we really decided to incorporate those fruit trees all around our property. So today we're going to be planting a variety of fruit trees. We're going to show you how to do it. And hopefully it's going to prompt you guys to go out and buy yourself some fruit trees wherever you're at, and stop buying those high-priced GMO apples. And grow your own. All right, so come along. My husband's down there. He's going to be digging some holes, and we'll show you what we're getting done. So before we get planted, I'll show you we got one sweet cherry tree. We already have 2 cherry trees, but we got an extra cherry tree. We got some early Alberta peach trees, and then we got 2 Arctic Glow nectarine trees and 2 red glow. Look at the prices of these. 20 bucks. Unbelievable. So we're definitely bargain hunters. And this is something, you know, if you get that piece of property, that off-grid homestead, you can plant, obviously, your fruit orchard ahead of time before you even move out there. These are going to take about 3 to 5 years before they produce fruit. But when they do, you're going to have yourself a beautiful orchard. And we do have apple trees down there, so we're just adding today. That's it. So another little bit of advice is when you're planning on an orchard for your homestead, do a little research. These Arctic Glows, we decided to go with them because they are like a sweet early season white flesh nectarine. They fit in nicely with our hardy zone, and they don't need to be pollinated. That's kind of the other plus. It's a self-pollinating type of a nectarine. So we decided to go with that variety. And then the second variety of peaches, I love to can, as you know, and I wanted some real deep golden yellow colored peaches for canning, and the Alberta peach tree fits that. It's great for zone 5 all the way through a zone 9. So if you look that up on the internet, it can go from anywhere from a -10 degrees all the way up to a +20 with these peach trees. They're really, really hardy. So they too can mature to like 8 to 20 feet, and they don't need any self-pollination. But both of these require full sun. So if you're looking at peach trees and nectarine trees, full sun. But figure out, you know, what are you going to be putting in your pantry that's going to be usable for your homestead. And like I said, the early Albertas for canning is awesome, and so are the Arctic Glow. And we also have cherries. Cherries do very well up here in the Panhandle. You can't have enough cherries. So we got, my husband is the hole digger today, and we're going to line up these new trees. 2 of them are going to go along this edge here. We figured out about how tall they're going to be and what type of spacing they need. The nectarines and the peaches are not fruit that needs any type of cross-pollination. So you can put them on your homestead and not have to worry about them needing to be pollinated from another tree. But I can't talk too much because he's doing all the work, and I've got the spike for the rocks. This is the boring part. We'll get to it real quick. So when you're planting your trees, you're gonna, you saw the big hole, but you want to use as much organic compost as you can, be it cow manure, bone meal, whatever. We're using obviously our own, which is from our own food scrapping and human manure composting efforts. So we got some beautiful compost today. And add plant food. Organic plant food is what we have today. Nothing fancy, but you're going to want to add that to your hole also, where your root ball is going to go. Real quickly, when you're doing your holes, now each fruit tree is going to be a little different depending on what you're doing on your homestead. You can see about how big and tall these are, and they didn't come with a real big root ball. So, but you want it at least 12 inches deep. Get enough spacing to fit that root ball in there, and pack it again with your compost. We got some rotted compost down there, some real fresh stuff, and then we're going to put some more organic compost in there and keep layering it along with the fertilizer, organic fertilizer, and then we'll cover it with a little bit of soil, and then probably some other light compost. After you get your trees covered with your mulch, remember that you're going to want to water your trees probably every day, or at least every other day, until the weather starts cooperating and you're getting some normal rainfall. So don't forget to do that. And just kind of as a final, we put a little bit of just a compost, dry compost, on the top of all of our trees. And then we are 100% done. So we got our nectarines planted, and we've got our peach trees over here. So all along the edge here, we planted all of our trees. They are in. And again, in a couple years, hopefully 3 to 5 years, we are going to be in full production with our own fruit that is fresh, GMO free. I'm going to give you guys one last point of advice, and I want you to think about this. So many of you are out there already looking for property, maybe already have property that is off-grid, and you're well on your way. And there's some of you that have maybe a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. And that, that's great. You are going forward. But I still want to advocate, wherever you are today, say you live in the city and you've got a fenced-in backyard, you're in that urban environment. If you have any type of yard and you own your house, please buy those apple and cherry trees, whatever grows in your region, and dig a hole and plant them today. Because we all know in 5 years' time, even though you may have the plan of going off grid or starting your homestead on the grid, anything can happen. And I'll guarantee if something does happen and in 5 years you can't move, you're going to be really, really happy that you planted those trees, because they are going to be producing, and you're going to be saving on fruit and having fresh fruit. So that would be the best advice I could give. Don't wait on the fruit trees. Get them today. Spring is a great time now. People are thawing out, and get a corner spot. Even if you have just a lot, get a corner spot on that lot and start digging some holes and putting in some fruit trees. You will not be guys sorry. For watching. And this is my off-grid homestead advice on planting fruit trees. All right. God bless you guys, and until next time.